Basketball team from Plainview that made national history is being honored decades later. That's the Flying Queens from Wayland Baptist University. KCBD News Channel 11's Patricia Perry tells us about the new museum now open to honor them.
That's the sound of cheering for the Flying Queens, this time not on the basketball court. Former Flying Queens loved the game then and now.
Basketball's the love of my life.
The president of Wayland, Bobby Hall, says for more than 70 years, women on this team have been paving the way for other women across the nation who love this sport.
This is kind of one of the birthplaces of women's basketball in a sense. It didn't all start here, but much of the development of the game came here.
Hall says not only were the Flying Queens impacting women pursuing basketball, they were strong on the court and off.
These are highly successful, driven women. They wouldn't have been as good as they were on the court if they weren't that, and you've seen that in their professional lives.
Former Texas Tech basketball coach Marcia Sharp credits her success to this program.
My career at Tech would not have been anything close to what it was if I had not had the opportunity to come through this program and be around Coach Dean Weiss and all the things that he taught me about the game.
Many Flying Queens followed a career related to basketball. One in particular is Kay Garms.
I also refereed women's basketball, and then after I quit refereeing, I became supervisor of women's basketball officials for the Western Athletic Conference for 25 years.
The team holds the record for winning 131 consecutive games. Former Flying Queen Alice Barron, also known as Cookie, says they played as a team and winning just made it sweeter.
You just take one game at a time and hope you don't lose the next one, because you do not want to be on the team that loses. So it was wonderful though, but we never got too excited about it. We just kept playing.
Now to see the legacy of this team these former players contributed to is putting smiles on these women's faces.
Oh, I think it's marvelous, just wonderful. It's awesome, and if people don't come to see this, they're losing out.
You can go see the Flying Queens Museum at the Maybe Regional Heritage Center Tuesdays through Fridays from 10 to 4 in Plainview. Patricia Perry, KCBD News Channel 11.